and Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Marshall Hewitt has won the Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime. And don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. Fiber New specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's official health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Would preventative care and screenings be an option?
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
As they say in PIHL hockey, let's do that PIHL hockey. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm Matt Popchock, coming to you from the Alpha Ice Complex here inside the USA rink in Harmarville, Pennsylvania, for a standalone edition of PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV, presented by Steel City Spine. We wind down Week 7 of the 25-26 Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League regular season with a Thursday night throwdown in PIHL Class 3A as the visiting Peters Township Indians in red take on the host Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings in white. The Indians look like a different bunch, and they have since we saw them in the preseason, the PIHL Charities Tournament. They performed very well in that event under second-year head coach Chris Claxon, and the Central Catholic Vikings certainly made a decent account of themselves in the preseason as well, and they've started out almost equally as strong. The Indians coming in with 13 points, good for third place outright in Class 3A. The Vikings with a chance to leapfrog them with a regulation win tonight as they sit on 12 points and the number 4 spot in Class 3A. Peters Township, they were in action just 48 hours ago. They beat South Fayette, one of last year's Penguins Cup finalists, in a 5-3 decision Tuesday night at Prinscape Arena. Their big gun, number 9, warming up in the mix off to our left, Shea LaMagna, his second varsity hat trick. He recorded his first one ever earlier this season. LaMagna with a game-winning goal in that game as well. Jake Lawadi, 59 in red, with the assist hat trick, as it were, setting up 3 of those Peters Township goals as they held off a South Fayette rally to get the victory. Pittsburgh Central Catholic has a second-year head coach as well, Anthony Rako, the former Seneca Valley bench boss, leading that varsity program once again. And the Vikings have started very well. They, too, like the Indians, have only lost once in regulation to this point. And again, nipping at their heels in the Class 3A standings as they come into this Thursday night. And they're coming off a nice win as well, a 6-3 decision over Thomas Jefferson here on home ice on last Monday evening, November the 3rd. But the big news for Central Catholic, maybe even bigger than the minutia of that game itself, is the fact that number 11 in white is back. The alternate captain, Judah Brophy, warming up on the Vikings blue line off to our right. Brophy back after missing a month due to injury, and boy, did he just not miss a beat at all. He had a goal, he had a pair of assists, a 3-point night for the 2025 All-Star in that decisive win over TJ. The X factor offensively for Central Catholic on a given night, it seems, could be any number of players. They were a very balanced team last year. They're a very balanced team offensively again this year. We'll take a look at Kane Phillip, number 22 in white, their hottest hand as far as goal scoring goes. He's got 5 of those. He had a pair in that win over TJ last Monday night. Aaron Daly, number 2 in white for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, is their team captain this season, the senior forward. He'll probably be chasing an all-star nod of his own this season. He's got 9 points, one of the top point getters in PIHL Class 3A entering Thursday night. And typically as he goes, so go the Vikings. These two teams evenly matched on paper. In recent years, they've been evenly matched on the ice as well. The goaltending matchup should be fairly square too. Jordan Cox, for what it is worth, was the first Peters Township Indian out of the tunnel. To wit, we expect him to get the start for Chris Claxon's Indians tonight. For Pittsburgh Central Catholic, it will likely be Mason Barberi, the sophomore, who has yet to lose in regulation this season, his first full year as a full-time starter. In just a moment, the Vikings and the Indians going at it in Harmarville. Our first visit on the prime TenbandTV channel, if you will, to the Alpha Complex this PIHL regular season. Home to a number of hockey programs you might have watched on this network, including the Pitt and Duquesne club teams. Of course, the junior Pittsburgh Vengeance call this rink home as well. The USA rink, one of 3 sheets of ice in the Alpha Complex. Peters Township
a very complete team early in the season. Very stubborn team defensively. Number 3 in team defense, in fact, in Class 3A coming in. Pittsburgh Central Catholic playing their second of 4 straight games here in the friendly confines of the Alpha Complex. And they want to keep that home cooking hot. Once again, Chris Claxon in his second straight year since succeeding the legendary Rick Tingle upon Tingle's retirement. And I remember something he said at the end of last season. He said he wishes last season, as tumultuous as it was, could have been just a little bit longer because he really felt this group was coming together. And again, early in the season at least, it looks like he wasn't just whistling Dixie. The Indians have played very solid hockey overall, and they look like they're ready to play back into their familiar form and play back, hopefully for their sake, in a contender status where they usually are year after year in the PIHL's top flight. And the Indians will have their hands full with a team coming off a big home ice win against another tough AAA foe in Central Catholic. It is indeed Barberi getting the nod in goal. And our eyes did not deceive us. Jordan Cox between the pipes at the other end. A battle of the number ones, literally. Number 1 in red, number 1 in white. And we are underway as the Indians move this puck from left to right on your TV, computer, or mobile device to begin. Brophy turns it over to Luati, but entering the offensive zone quickly for Central Catholic, Julian Lappy. Lappy scoring his first goal in his first varsity game in this building back on the 9th of October against co-tenant Fox Chapel. The Foxes playing back up in Class 3A for the first time in several years this season. LaMagna with a steal. He picked Dom Ventura's pocket, and Ventura will come off for an early change. Indians play it deep at Central Catholic ice. Luati tried to deposit to Dan Kovac, the Peters Township captain, but it was taken away easily by David Ketterer. And we get a whistle and a stoppage just 61 seconds in. And I think the Indians may have been nabbed for too many men. Indeed, that is the case. The fans were clamoring for something behind the play. Now we know what that something was. A bit of discombobulation, pardon me, on the visitors' bench gives Pittsburgh Central Catholic the game's first penny power play. And the Vikings could use a shot in the arm for their power play. They're just 3 of 16 on the man advantage to start the year, second to last in the 11-team AAA circuit, 18.8%. Peters Township has been pretty solid on the penalty kill to start their season, 10 of 13, third overall at 76.9%. Near side, Kane Phillip. Vikings on the penny power play early in a scoreless game. Phillip waits, watches. Shot pass broken up by Angelo Maeda, but recovered by the Vikings. Brophy working the center point for Shane Birdhold. Up top to Brophy. Brophy near side to Phillip. That pass was a bit too heavy. Brendan Monco, the Penguins' elite product, plays it around the boards, but not strongly enough. Kept alive by Brendan McGurk. Kick save there, slotting to his left was Cox to deny the shooter, and the net behind the Peters Township sophomore is dislodged. Jordan Cox got to make his varsity debut on home ice. Prince-Scape Arena back on October 21st and pitched a shutout, in fact. 22 saves against Thomas Jefferson. Cox 1-1 as a backup to Anthony Herman. Thus far, .880 save percentage, 3.0 goals against average. Jack Kubastek serving the bench minor for too many men for Peters Township as the Indians play it back to center. Dante Albanese retreating. LaMagna pressing shorthanded. Albanese pressured by Carter Manili. Correction, Zach Manili, the senior forward and brother of Carter, gets back on the back check, and the Indians will get it the rest of the way. 40 to go in the bench penalty. One shot on goal thus far for the Vikings on this man advantage. Matteo Masidi across the attacking line for Ketterer. Ketterer dropping for Albanese. Cross ice it comes to Travado. That shot was blocked by the big frame of Monco. Masidi on the half wall. Travado had trouble playing it, but gets it to Albanese. Albanese upstairs and wide of the glove hand of Jordan Cox. LaMagna playing this one smoothly up to center, and this should just about do it. LaMagna dumps it. The Indians change behind the play, and in just a moment, they'll be back to full strength. 13:45 to go in a still scoreless first period. Lucas Best up the near side for Lawadi. Jake Lawadi centering it for Tommy Dowden. Dowden fires wide, and the rebound comes right out to Gavin Watson at the side of the net. Lawadi takes over in the corner for Peters Township, but turns it over to Watson. Watson using the glass to ice this puck for Central Catholic. And before they drop the puck to Mason Barberi's right, let's tell you about Mason Barberi. 3-0-1 on the season, his .260 GAA, third best in AAA, entering this Thursday night. Just an .867 save percentage, though. He'd like to pick that number up, I'm sure. Won 2 of 3 games in the PIHL Charities Tournament as well, so certainly earning his keep as that new #1 goalie for Anthony Rako. Up to center for Dowden. Dowden from the top of the circle, missing to the far post. Maeda on the rebound. Lawadi behind the cage, couldn't handle the strong pass. Tommy Lavelle gets it up to Phillip. Phillip tied up in the corner by Avancic and shipped ahead by Daly. Aaron Daly over the attacking line, right side, shooting off Cox. The save made, and the rebound is fanned on by Jeff Stepanek. Monco with a good stick on Daly, and now a shoulder on the Central Catholic captain. Eric Schleiper in the corner, trying to work it around Berthold. Berthold to the corner for Daly. Daly goes down, play continues. Travado off of Monco's skate as he was trying to tie up Berthold in front. Nick Halliburka coming on behind the play for the Vikings. The offspring of PIHL Commissioner Tom as the Vikings cross the attacking line. Cox cuts down the angle. Nick Caputo will not ice this puck for Peters Township as it dies in the corner for Braden LeWinter. LeWinter ricochets this puck off the boards right to Schleiper. Schleiper gains the red line and sends it behind the central net. Stolen by the Indians on the doorstep, unable to tap it into the open cage. Was Caputo, who had a stick in his way. Halliburka outletting for Phillip. Phillip 1 against 2 from distance. That'll miss. Halliburka to the rebound. Looking for company. Nice pass to McGurk. McGurk shooting off the far post. Just a little excuse me shot that resulted in a broken stick for defenseman Kubastek, and that almost snuck in behind Cox. Boy, wouldn't that have been a freaky first goal in this game. Kovac forcing the stoppage and the save by Barberi. Kovac, the new Peters Township captain, his older brother Ben, of course, an erstwhile all-star and state champion with the Indians back in 2022. Peters wins the draw, but they're forced back to center. Kovac tagging up. Outlet pass beyond Barofi, and it'll go for icing. Face-off win and a shot quickly on Barberi from the point by Schleiper, and a good save by the Central Catholic second year. Brophy's going to go again, and this time he wins it. Lappy putting it off the face guard of Monco. Vikings keep it inside the line. Brophy from an angle out in front, too strong for Lappy, who was wide open on Cox's doorstep. That puck deflected behind the net. McGurk from the half wall to the corner. Lappy there for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. He's sandwiched against the glass immediately out in front. Oh, what a play there. Follow-up shot, score! Judah Brophy nuzzles that nylon for the second time in as many games. Central takes the 1-0 lead with 10:15 to go in the first, and have another hot dog. Brophy is back. The first save was made, but Brophy, against the grain, made the rebound count, and Central jumps on top early. Lawadi off a body and right back to himself as he's chased by Santino Strobel out in front. Oh, that backdoor play almost tied the game. Avancic unable to convert. Credit Barberi with that stop. Maetta's shot blocked. Numbers for the Vikings. Strobel to Ketterer. That shot stopped by Cox. It's loose. It's bouncing on the goal line and somehow kept out by the Peters netminder with help from a prone Maeda. Both coaches want fresh personnel out there for this face-off in Peters territory. Won cleanly by the Vikings. Between the circles, Haliburka off a skate. Manili icing this puck for Peters Township. 1-0 Central Catholic. Again, it's Judah Brophy, the goal getter for the Vikings. Second goal and fourth point in just his second game back from injury. Monco around the boards. Lewinner couldn't keep it in. Same call, and so we'll do it again from the same spot. Peters Township takes command. Schleiper over the attacking line. Schleiper stood up neatly by Travado. Lewinner behind his own goal. Haliburka trying to help with his own exit, but it's played off an Indian stick and out of action. Anthony Rako putting more fresh troops out there. Ditto Chris Claxon. Claxon flanked by Cliff Bumford. Longtime Peters Township assistant under both Claxon and prior head coach Tingle. The puck battle rages on, and Central wins it eventually. Travado from his own corner. Up ahead to Phillip. Phillip, right side for Daly, who sends it around the boards. Anticipating is Alex Nath. Up to center it comes. Taking a swipe at it was one of the Indians as Barberi made a loud save at the other end. Ben Barrett trying to set up the Peters Township newcomer. And that is Tyler Kazarowski making his varsity debut. The Peters Township's JV program also enjoying a turnaround of their own. We talked about varsity playing well to start this season, coming off a tough year. JV is doing the same, so Things looking up across the board for the visitors as Kazarowski steps onto the ice for the first time officially as a varsity Indian. Schleiper off a sea of sticks to the corner it'll go. Lappy to center. Monco on the retreat. Pressured by Brophy. And back to center it'll come off the blade of Albanese. Under 8 to go in this first period. 1-0 Central Catholic on a goal by Judah Brophy. Lawadi ahead for Avancic. Avancic couldn't settle down that bouncing puck. Outlet pass for Brophy. He couldn't handle that. McGurk resetting to his defensive partner Albanese, and Albanese wore the A couple of times in Brophy's absence. Now he retreats as his goaltender Barberi is called into action once again with LaMagna's line out there. How do you watch PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV? Well, right now you could be watching on Watch. Yes, you heard me correctly. Log on to watch.tenband.tv and watch multiple live games and on-demand replays all at once. Again, that's watch.tenband.tv to watch your favorite team the way the hockey gods intended. Played aside by Jordan Cox. Monco playing it blindly, but right to Ketterer, Ketterer! Burial! 2-0 Vikings, and give the governor harumph. What a shot from the right side by Ketterer. Third of the year for the junior forward. And Central Catholic continues their form on home ice. Gavin Watson plays this puck to the vacant right wing. Poked ahead by Daly. Daly off balance, shooting for that top corner and missing. You sense the Vikings are just a play away or maybe even just a bounce away from really opening the floodgates here. They've got a couple early goals and they've got momentum with 6:40 left in the first. Kubastek to the corner. Daly reversing the play to Lavelle. In pursuit is Kovac for Peters. Carter Manili unable to keep it in with a glove. Indians go D to D. Maeda and Kubastek paired out there as Kubastek stands up one of the Vikings at center. That was Daly. Kovac ahead of the play. He gets a little jersey tug from Daly. Play continues. The Central captain surveying the scene. Goes right side to Phillip. Both teams completing changes on the fly. Kubastek from deep in his own zone. Up ahead for Nath. Nath unable to locate that pass. Maeda met by Travado. Travado interrupted that breakout pass. Yard sale inside Peters Township territory as the Indians get it up to center. Barrett over the attacking line. Barrett on his backhand off a stick. Inside the line, Schleiper keeps it onside. Schleiper wide of the blocker hand of Mason Barberi. Well, you just get those pucks in the general vicinity. You never know what kind of bounce you can catch. Shot from distance. Barberi able to read that one. And Phillip will play it up to center for Central Catholic. Final 5 minutes of first period play. Vikings off to the optimal start here against the visiting Indians. Schleiper pursued by Halliburka. Schleiper with speed up the left side. Lost that puck. Played calmly aside by Barberi. LaMagna. Off balance shot missing. Puck played behind the Vikings net. Schleiper from the point. Trying to go cross ice to Lawadi. That was cut out easily by Bailey Donahue. And the sophomore will gain the line and dump it in. Vikings go for another change. Monco for Lawadi. Offside Peters Township. Twelve first period goals now by Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Most in AAA entering Thursday night. That's been their MO. They've been a strong starting team. And Peters Township in the unenviable position of having to chase the game as the road foe, as the Vikings have netted another. 3:46 to go in the first period. And it's crisscross applesauce for Julian Lappy, his third of the season. And that'll be all for Jordan Cox. We'll see the Baldwin transfer, Anthony Herman, after all. Herman, a junior in his first year with the Peters varsity program, 3-0-1 in the regular season. 3.0 goals against among the top five in save percentage as well entering Thursday, .882. Herman with a .925 save percentage in that PIHL Charities tournament. He really stood out in that preseason event for Peters Township. Now, the Indians off the ice have talked a lot about wanting to build up throughout their program their goaltending depth, and they've certainly got a good flag bearer there, and Herman. Indians win the own zone draw. Best up to Kovac. Kovac and Caputo offside. Final 3 minutes of period one. It's a 3-0 lead for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Vikings control this puck. Kept in by LaMagna. LaMagna getting physical in the near corner. Schleiper pinching to get it to Avancic. Brophy on the back check for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Lost it to Lawadi. Lawadi out in front. Best is going to try to back it up. Schleiper will instead. Save made by Barberi, pardon me. Lawadi through a couple of skates. Oh, that almost went 5-hole through Barberi. LaMagna just couldn't get the puck luck. Monco up to Avancic, who plays it in the general direction of Barberi. Barberi will leave it for Lavelle. Lawadi takes it over. Lawadi in front. Kubastek backing up the play. He shoots. Brophy taking one for the team. Lappy turns it over to Lawadi. Lawadi stood up by Lappy, who recovers. Lappy from his knees able to clear the zone. Now the sophomore's doing it all of a sudden. He got that third goal and makes a strong play on that puck to get it out of danger. Ketterer having trouble with this one in front of his goaltender. Lawadi's got it. And now the net behind Barberi is off its moorings. Chris Claxon changing some troops just before that face-off, which is won by Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Final moments of the first period, that's been all Vikings. Ketterer cross ice to LeWinter. Ketterer, 1 against 3, glove save by Herman. To the corner it'll come. Maeda following the faceoff. Beyond Caputo. Vikings go near side to McGurk. Maeda from his own corner. Waiting is Caputo. Kovac couldn't get there. Berthold greeted by Manili. Carter Manili, that is. From center. Bailey Donahue with a dump in. 20 to go in the period. One last chance maybe for the Indians, but a good stick there by McGurk. Maeda. He and Kovac not on the same page. Under 10 seconds left. Albanese from his own zone, going to take his time. And that'll do it. Judah Brophy continues to announce his presence upon returning to the Central Catholic lineup. Ketterer and Lappy tack on. Central 3, Peters nothing after 1. Matt Popchock for PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV, presented by Steel City Spine.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Steel City Spine and Orthopedic Center is your leader in advanced spine health and orthopedic services. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau, they specialize in minimally invasive spine surgery and innovative evidence-based treatments for various back and neck issues. With locations in Pittsburgh, McKees Rocks, and Washington, PA, comprehensive spine and orthopedic care is never far away. Visit steelcityspine.com to book your appointment or call 412-725-0283. Matt Popchock here for PIHL Hockey Night Live. Winding down Week 7 on TenbandTV, presented by Steel City Spine. The Central Catholic Vikings with a commanding 3-0 lead over their Class 3A rivals, the Peters Township Indians. Anthony Herman relieving Jordan Cox in goal for Peters Township late in that first period, following goals by Brophy, Ketterer, and Lappy. Brophy and Ketterer with goals in back-to-back games now, each for the Vikings. Monco fakes, shoots. That's blocked in front by Lavelle. Daly outletting for Phillip. Phillip Slowed a bit at center, but persisting inside the right circle. Phillip to the goal. He's had all the moves. But Anthony Herman has the puck. That's the hockey equivalent of rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Phillips somehow kept his poise and kept that puck to force the save by Herman. Kubastek from center red for Peters Township. To the corner it goes. First one on it is Kazarowski. Kazarowski pinned against the glass by Travado. Near corner, sent to center, off the blade of Maeda. Settled down by Kubastek. Bounded up ahead for Dowden. Taken away by Ventura. The Bishop Canavan transfer up ahead to Brophy. Brophy to the corner for Ventura. Ventura playing it out in front. Ventura also aiming for goals in back-to-back games after scoring against the Jaguars last Monday. Icing on Central. Not quite 2 minutes into period two. Unofficial first period shots on goal, 10-7 in favor of the Vikings, who are ahead where it counts. 13 first period goals now after tonight for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Once again, they lead 3A in that category. LaMagna reaching for this one. It's stabbed over to Ketterer. Masidi losing it to Avancic. And the Indians were offside. Vikings controlling in their own zone, but they turn it over to Manili. In the corner, Brady Rose sends it to the opposite side. Schleiper there for it. McGurk through the circle. Manili off the stick of Barberi, who played that nonchalantly. Manili out in front. It rebounds to Rose. Cross ice it'll come. Snapshot, Barberi the save, and he's got the rebound as Masidi takes down one of the Indians at the whistle. Carter Manili taking exception. Strobel with a skate problem, being helped back to the Central Catholic bench by McGurk. Indians control the face-off. They get it to the point. That shot fired toward goal. Loose in front. Played from an angle by Caputo. Good coverage there by Halliburka on his goaltender's own doorstep. Watson around the boards. Berthold crashing the play. Out in front it comes. The pass broken up, but right to Lavelle, who fires over top the bar. Two-line pass beyond the reach of Nath, and this is icing against the Indians. One of three Class 3A games, on the PIHL varsity schedule tonight. And the first one of those three to face off. Franklin Regional at Upper St. Clair and North Allegheny Mount Lebanon, the other two. Kubastek from his own corner to center. Daly near side. Lawadi for Avancic. Avancic's centering pass. Picked off easily by the Vikings and sent back to center. Maeda with a dump in promptly for the Indians. Lavelle reversing the play, but LaMagna takes it away for Peters Township. To the corner for Lawadi. Out in front, LaMagna. LaMagna firing, that's blocked. Reaching for the rebound, which is cleared. A good play there by Lavelle, but Kubastek keeps it alive. Stepatic with that stick. Gets it back to the Indians' blue line. Phillip can't touch this puck. And now he finally can to get it the rest of the way. Central making a line change. Taken by Brophy. Brophy wide of goal. In the corner, Phillip. Lawadi with it now for Peters Township. Lawadi around LaWinter. That stop made by Barberi. Central controlling the rebound. 5 minutes into period 2. It's Ventura across the line. Near side for Lappy. Trailing is LaWinter. LaWinter never made it through. Indians get to the loose puck. Travato up to center for Brophy. Herman waiting and covering for a faceoff. In those other games, Franklin and USC scoreless. Mount Lebanon jumping on top 1-0 over NA. It seems like every game is a battle in Class 3A these days. No easy contest for any of the 11 teams, including these two. Well, early on, the Vikings certainly made things look easy. 3 first-period goals, and still hanging on to that 3-goal advantage with 11:20 left in the second. Manili against Brophy. Brophy wins it to the corner. Worked around to Lappy. Lappy up to Judah Brophy. Brophy over the line. Ventura was offside.
Let's go, Central!
Anthony Rako putting a fresh unit out there. Rako, the coach that finally got the Seneca Valley program over the hump in 2017, winning their first ever Penguins Cup championship, and doing so at the expense of Rick Tingle's Peters Township Indians at the time, icing against Central Catholic, and trying to get this program over the hump as well. It's been several years since the Vikings won a playoff round in the AAA Penguins Cup tournament. No playoff wins since the COVID-19 pandemic. They've certainly had some capable teams since then, but again, in Class 3A, on a given night, there are no guarantees. Kubastek trying to play it deep for the Indians. Central in transition. Centering play. Good save there by Herman on Albanese in front. In a stoppage here with under 10.5 till the ice cut. Vikings making more changes before this face-off. Lawadi wins it back to his defenseman Kubastek. Kubastek off the scorer's table. Lawadi gets there eventually and sends it to the corner. Lavelle, the first man to it, met by LaMagna. Phillip for Daly. Nifty pass to Watson, taken away by Kubastek. Lavelle met at center by Kubastek. And it looked like a hand pass from our vantage point in the neutral zone. Officials not calling it. Daly goes down. Play continues. In front, Lawadi. Turning around, shooting and scoring! Jake Lawadi nuzzles that nylon. And it's game on in Harmarville. 3-1 Vikings. 9:49 to play in the second period, and Sophie needs a snack. Jake Lawadi. His third of the season, point number 11 overall to tie Che LaMagna for the team lead. Anthony Rako getting an explanation from this USA Hockey crew as to why the hand pass that wasn't a hand pass wasn't called. Well, there are no 3-goal plays in hockey, but it just takes one to potentially light a fire under a team. And let's see if the Indians can pour some fuel on that fire. They're on the board now. It's a 2-goal game with still time to go in the second period. Lewinter from in front of his own blue line sends that puck out of play. That puck out of action as well, so we'll drop it from the nearest face-off dot this time in the neutral zone. Ketterer dumps this puck. Schleiper gets it just in time to Monco. Monco for Barrett. Zach Manili trailing the play. Sends it firmly into central territory. Travado to center. Monco takes down Masidi. Dowden with his puck. Had trouble reeling it in, though. So he'll have to get rid of it in the corner. Lewinter up off the glass. Not all the way out. Dowden on the backhand, plays it wide of goal. Travado has the rebound for the Vikings. He's pressured in the corner, and he comes out of the corner with his puck. Travado skating well up to Ketterer. Ketterer poke checked by Schleiper. Midway through the second period. The only goal of this period belongs to Peters Township's Jake Lawadi. Indians now trail Central Catholic 3-1. Brophy from center. Carter Manili. Up to Dowden. Dowden gets rid of it. Indians changing on the fly. Good hit by Manili behind the net. To the point it comes to Kubastek. Kubastek across for Maeda. Maeda upstairs just missing. Manili to the rebound. Brophy with help from Strobel. And from Masidi will exit the zone. Maeda with a dump in. Central Catholic changing behind the play. Brady Rose with a takeaway. Plays that off Brophy's leg. It comes to Manili. Manili to the point for Kubastek. Kubastek on goal. Barberi flagging that one down. You could hear that from the Europe rink. And Lawadi, the Indians' goal scorer, will take this face-off against Brophy and win it. Avancek To the corner for Kubastek. That save made. Still available. Lappy couldn't clear. Turnaround try LaMagna. That's denied by Barberi. Good glove by Kubastek. That's off a skate in front. Albany's got in the way. Maeda with a dump in. Indians have to tag up. They will. Lappy from behind his own net. Leaving it for Ventura. LaMagna forces the turnover. Lawadi draws the double team. Indians going to work on the forecheck. This puck taken away by Barofi and forced back to center. Another delayed offside, negated by the Indians. McGurk over the line. McGurk skating wide. That centering pass cut out by Kubastek. This puck deflecting off a couple sticks right to LaMagna. LaMagna couldn't get around McGurk. And Albanese will play it up to center for Central Catholic. Kubastek up the right side to Avancic. Avancic unable to get around Brendan McGurk, who's put in some nice defensive work on this shift. 5.5 till the ice cut. And the Indians play it off the boards, but not out. Lavelle, it deflects on goal. Herman the save. Paging Mr. Herman. He's there with the glove. And this will force a face-off on Peters Township ice. Indians win the own zone draw. Dowden, weakly toward goal, steered aside by Barberi. Dowden knocked off this puck by the shoulder of Daly. Here comes Daly and Kane Phillip over the line. Good stick by Schleiper, trailing the place to Pettick. Knocked aside by Herman. Indians have the rebound. Lavelle run over by Barrett. Zach Manili up to center. Barrett unable to advance that puck. Daly on the counterattack. Vikings changing behind the play. Centering pass. Backhand try. That just went wide. Off the stick of Gavin Watson. Watson plays this puck to the near corner now. Phillip with a nice maneuver there. Phillip toward goal. Shooting on Herman. And Herman stops him point blank. Dowden gets it the rest of the way. A grade A chance there for the alternate captain, but could not make it happen. Berthold into the attacking zone. Berthold on goal. Herman fights it off. Donahue trying to get this puck deep for Central. Indians going D to D. Halliburka dropping for LeWinter. Berthold getting knocked down at center. Lots of traffic in that neutral zone here at the USA rink. Off the body of Rose it comes. He's trying to locate this puck and finally does. Manili dropping for Maeda. Halliburka stick checked by Carter Manili, beg your pardon. Carter over the attacking line. Off balance shot underneath the glove hand of Barberi. Ketterer lined up for a moment by Rose. Halliburka now gets it up ahead to Donahue. Donahue shoved off the puck by one of the Indians. And Ketterer now essentially offside on himself. How do you watch PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV? Well, right now you could be watching on Watch. Yes, you heard me correctly. Log on to watch.tenband.tv and watch multiple live games and on-demand replays all at once. Again, that's watch.tenband.tv to watch your favorite team as the hockey gods intended. Final 3 minutes before the ice cut here in Harmarville. Avancic unable to take that pass. Monco and the Indians re-enter the zone. I wonder what Tomko is up to these days over in Hockey Valley, as old habits do indeed die hard. Played out in front. The net egregiously dislodged behind Herman. Officials let the teams play on. Avancic knocked down from behind, gets back up, continues to play this puck. Into the corner it goes for LaMagna. LaMagna slips it to Lawadi out in front. Caputo charging on. Unable to put it cleanly on net. Vikings get it back to center. Beyond Strobel, who wants to come off for a change here late in the period. Two-line pass for Lawadi. Lawadi has Caputo again going to the net. Caputo unable to find it. It's loose. Is it jammed in? Yes, it is! Nick Caputo somehow, some way forced that puck under Barberi. Peters Township makes it a one-goal game with 1:40 left in the second, and get your popcorn ready. His first goal a little over a year ago, October 22nd to be exact. Hasn't netted one since. Now he has. Nick Caputo, the junior. His first of the year, getting the Indians to within one late as Herman has to make that save through traffic. And Peters Township, with all those seniors and a lot of capable underclassmen as well. Certainly not a team that's ever out of any game, you feel, and vindicating that point at the moment as we are moments before the ice cut intermission, and Peters Township is right back in it. Central Catholic, 3 first period goals, forcing a Peters Township goaltending change. Indians with both goals since. And they have numbers now. Manili unable to connect with Rose as one of the Indians is hauled down in front. That was Brady Rose. Play continues in the final minute of second period action. Rose with a takeaway. His outlet pass blocked by Lappy. Manili backing up the play. Kept in by Monco. Indians, Captain Kovac in the thick of that puck battle, and he wins it. Delayed penalty coming up. Barberi wants to come off for the extra man with just 10 seconds left in the period. Herman's going to cover. And the clock, in fact, will stop with exactly 10 ticks to talk in period 2. Central Catholic 0 for 1 on the penny power play. Carter Manili pleading his case. And barring very late developments, the Vikings will begin period 3 on the man advantage. They win this face-off. They set it up for Brophy. Brophy fires. It's deflected in front. Herman able to cover with 3.5 to go. Lawadi slowing that puck off the face-off. Forced to the corner defensively by Zach Manili, and now we will cut the ice at the Alpha Ice Complex with your score through to Central Catholic 3, Peters Township 2. Vikings get the penny power play when we return for period 3 for another minute and 51 seconds. I'm Matt Popchock, and you're watching it all on PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV, presented by Steel City Spine.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Sick and shipped ahead by Daly. Aaron Daly over the attacking line, right side, shooting off Cox. A save made, and the rebound is fanned on by Jeff Stepetic. That'll miss. Halliburka to the rebound. Looking for company. Nice pass to McGurk. McGurk shooting off the far post. Just a little excuse me there for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. He's sandwiched against the glass immediately. Out in front. Oh, what a play there. Follow-up shot. Score! Numbers for the Vikings. Strobel to Ketterer. That shot stopped by Cox. It's loose. It's bouncing on the goal line and somehow kept out. Played aside by Jordan Cox. Monco playing it blindly, but right to Ketterer. Ketterer! Burial! 2-0. And Peters Township in the unenviable position of having to chase the game as the road foe, as the Vikings have netted another. Made by Barberi, pardon me. Lawadi through a couple of skates. Oh, that almost went 5-hole through Barberi. Ketterer cross ice to LeWinter. Ketterer 1 against 3. Glove save by Herman. Phillip slowed a bit at center, but persisting inside the right circle. Phillip to the goal. He's had all the moves. Manili out in front. It rebounds to Rose. Cross ice it'll come. Snapshot. Barberi the save, and he's got the rebound as Masidi. Daly goes down. Play continues. In front, Lawadi. Turning around, shooting and scoring! Jake Lawadi! Off Brophy's leg. It comes to Manili. Manili to the point for Kubastek. Kubastek on goal. Barberi. And the Indians play it off the boards, but not out. Lavelle with the flex on goal. Herman the save. Paging Mr. Herman. Barrett unable to advance that puck. Daly on the counterattack. Vikings changing behind the play. Centering pass. Backhand try. That just went wide. Phillip with a nice maneuver there. Phillip toward goal. Shooting on Herman. And Herman stops him point blank. Two-line pass for Lawadi. Lawadi has Caputo again going to the net. Caputo unable to find it. It's loose. Is it jammed in? Yes, it is!
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings, all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup, and Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Hewitt creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Marshall Hewitt has won the Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime, and don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
Do you have a favorite leather couch or chair that's damaged? Has your car, boat, or RV's interior seen better days? Maybe your business's furniture or your private aircraft's interior could use a little love. You're probably thinking replacement is going to be expensive. And what happens to the damaged piece after you throw it out? Does it just end up in a landfill? It doesn't have to. FiberNew specializes in the restoration of leather, plastic, and vinyl. To get an estimate, connect with us today.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Thank you for calling Penny, PA's official health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Would preventative care and screenings be an option?
You came to the right place. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality plans.
Enroll now at penny.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh.
Discover the heart of Pittsburgh at Mount Washington Shop and Save. At Mount Washington Shop and Save, we're more than just a grocery store. We're your neighborhood destination. From the freshest local produce to gourmet delights, we've got it all under one roof. Experience convenience, quality, and savings all in the heart of Mount Washington. Mount Washington Shop and Save, where Pittsburgh shops with a view. Shop smart, shop local, shop Mount Washington Shop and Save.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Pass Cunningham. Here comes Cunningham between the defenders. Cunningham. Score! Ethan Cunningham! Hat trick! Game-winning goal! The Ramblers win the 2025 2A Penguins Cup! And Ethan Cunningham is a local hero!
Play It Again Sports in Greensburg is your locally owned and operated sporting goods store. We set ourselves apart by offering a wide variety of both new and used equipment at competitive prices. Located in the Greengate East Plaza, below Walmart, Play It Again Sports' knowledgeable staff will help you and your family prepare for every athletic season. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we are here as your one-stop shop. At Play It Again Sports in Greensburg, everybody plays.
Gonna get up, pretty baby. Gonna get out of this rocking chair.
Hewitt creating space. Hewitt turning. Scoring! Marshall Hewitt has won the Penguins Cup championship for the Seneca Valley Raiders with 12:29 to play in triple overtime. And don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
It's a PIHL hockey night in Pittsburgh.
Steel City Spine and Orthopedic Center is your leader in advanced spine health and orthopedic services. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau, they specialize in minimally invasive spine surgery and innovative evidence-based treatments for various back and neck issues. With locations in Pittsburgh, McKees Rocks, and Washington, PA, comprehensive spine and orthopedic care is never far away. Visit steelcityspine.com to book your appointment or call 412-725-0283. Matt Popchock back here at the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville inside the USA rink. Winding down Week 7 on PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV, presented by our friends at Steel City Spine. Through 2 periods, we've got a 3-2 hockey game. Central Catholic Vikings holding on to the advantage over the Peters Township Indians, who scored both second period goals. Central Catholic beginning period 3 with 1:51 seconds of penny power play time with which to work. Shots on goal through 2 periods. 18 for the Vikings, 13 for the Indians. Brophy, Ketterer, Lappy in period 1 for the home team. And in period 2, Peters Township countering with 2 goals by Lawadi and by Nick Caputo, his first goal in over a calendar year. Carter Manili in the box. Shea LaMagna on the faceoff, winning the faceoff for Peters Township to start period 3 on the freshly cut ice. Vikings on the man advantage. Brophy with speed over the line. Brophy unable to get around Kovac. Schleiper plays it off the glass. Good keep by McGurk. LaMagna gloves it down. LaMagna trying to get separation shorthanded. Good pressure by Daly. To the corner it'll come to McGurk. Brendan McGurk up to Phillip. And near side, it's beyond the reach of McGurk, the Pittsburgh Predators product. And Barberi will leave it for his captain, Aaron Daly, midway through this central power play. Brophy, near side for Phillip. Phillip for Brophy. Brophy, poke check by LaMagna. Turnover to LaMagna. And LaMagna doing yeoman's work on that penalty kill as Ventura deflects it into the corner. Herman watching it go by as it's played by Kubastek. Cut out by the Vikings. Sent up to Masidi. Masidi driving the net, but couldn't hang on to that puck. McGurk on goal. That's blocked by Kubastek. Sent to the near boards. Masidi on this puck to the corner for Phillip. Indians taking away the passing lanes again. Closing seconds of the power play. Ventura on goal. Save made the rebound. Herman sitting upright to keep that puck from crossing. And he gets the whistle, even though it didn't look like that puck was all the way frozen. And the Indians bench expressing their approval. Four seconds left on the minor against Carter Manili. Maeda unable to clear, but Manili steps on. Travado cross ice. Ketterer couldn't take that pass, but he recovers. Ketterer to the corner for Masidi. Lawadi off his own boards and out of play. Big kill to start this third period for Peters. Still down by just a goal. Now Peters Township coming in the least penalized team by minutes anyway in Class 3A, but Central Catholic has had the game's only 2 power plays as Herman is forced to cover that puck. Just 36 PIMs coming into tonight. Make it an even 40 now. Vikings play takeaway. Masidi toward goal. Ketterer deflected it in on Herman, and Monco having words with Ketterer after the whistle. And ever since the goaltending change that brought Herman off the bench, it's been the Indians who have been able to will their way back into this contest. Vikings win the face-off. Toward goal. Monco sends Masidi to the ice. Monco from the corner flips this puck to center, settled down by the glove of Lewinter. He is plowed by Blake Avancic. Turned over to Masidi. Masidi couldn't keep it. Avancic up to Dowden. Dowden in behind the Vikings net. Travado in the corner, ducks around the check. Rose stepping on for the Indians as Monco will play it into the Central Catholic zone. Indians offside. The muckers and grinders out here for Chris Claxon. Ben Barrett taking that face off, and the Indians force Central Catholic to chase it deep in their own zone. Maeda put some velocity on that puck that went to the corner. Lavelle to the now vacant corner. Barrett, the first one to it for Peters Township. Caputo knocked down from an angle. That save made in front. Barberi couldn't hang on to the rebound. Shot from distance is blocked. Right place, right time, Julian Lappy. On the backhand, it goes out of play. Wholesale changes by both teams before this face-off, which once again comes to center ice. Lawadi wins it, right wing for Schleiper. Too many white shirts there for Central Catholic, which forces the Indians to retreat. Lawadi shoved by Lavelle as it's played by Halliburka up the near boards, and this will be icing on the Vikings. We told you earlier, Central Catholic in the midst of a 4-game homestand. This is game 2 of that stretch. Game 3 next week against Pine Richland next Monday night, in fact. 8:40 p.m. opening faceoff. Pine Richland really pulling a 180 after a very rocky start to their season. Out in front, Brophy. Brophy shooting, scoring! Thank you, sir. May I have another? Judah Brophy keeps that hot hand for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And the Vikings have some breathing room with 12:39 to play. Three goals now in 2 games since his return for Judah Brophy. Puck to the corner. Albanese retaliating against Kazarowski. Kazarowski tries to connect with Zach Manili. Manili trying to hop around Ventura. Kazarowski with it in the corner now. And it's deflected back to center by Albanese. Dumped back in by the Indians 5 minutes into period 3. Central Catholic getting that insurance goal from Judah Brophy, his second of the evening. And goal number 3 on the young season. Herman covering inside the crease. Peters Township also going to be playing on home ice next time out. They're hosting Upper St. Clair. Big rivalry game there in the South Hills at the Princegate Arena next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Anthony Herman hanging on to that one. Peters Township with a face-off win. It's sailed back to center. Caputo running over Travado. Kovac going to the net. He has this puck, and he puts it just wide of Barberi. Everything there but the finish. Vikings dodge a bullet as they come back to center. Daly around the boards. Phillip. Overtaken by Kubastek. Lewinter retreating. LaMagna unable to reach that one. Phillip ahead to Stepetic from center. Lewinter wide of goal. Maeda deflecting for Manili. That was a pass designed for LaMagna, but it never got there. Phillip, poke check by Avancic. Lewinter pressured by LaMagna. Near side, it comes to Travado. Masidi. Stick check by Schleiper. Indians play it from the far boards. Lawadi couldn't control it. Masidi tries to play it behind Schleiper. LaMagna 1 against 2, 1 against 3 essentially. Collision at the blue line between Lawadi and Lavelle. And it's sent back in by Schleiper in the final 10 minutes of regulation. Central Catholic up by a deuce. And the Vikings will ice this puck inside the final 10. Elsewhere, Franklin Regional leading Upper St. Clair 1-0. NA now taking a 2-1 lead over Mount Lebanon. This, as we said, the other Class 3A game on the docket tonight. Central Catholic looking to leapfrog Peters Township with a regulation win tonight. Move into that number 3 spot in Class 3A. Lavelle off the glass, back to center. Schleiper to the corner. Eric Schleiper, the Peters defenseman, near side now for Lucas Best, a sophomore blue liner. This puck deflected toward goal. Flagged down in front by Watson. Ventura and the Vikings recover and get it across the attacking line. Played behind his own net by Best. Dowden puts it off Albanese as we near the midpoint of period 3. Yard sale at center ice as Berthold goes in to play this puck for Central. Puts it off the side of the net. McGurk from the top of the circle. That's blocked. Albanese up for Lappy. Lappy shouldered by Dowden. Albanese inside the line now to the corner for Halliburka. Halliburka trying to center it from McGurk. Good read there by Kovac. Forced back to center by Caputo. Best off the glass. McGurk turned it over to Manili. Manili fires. Scores! Carter Manili has entered the chat. And again, it's a 1-goal game. 8 minutes remaining. The sophomore's second of the season. He opened his varsity account in the win over South Fayette on Tuesday. Now he's got goals in back-to-back games, and the Indians aren't done yet. Lawadi off the face-off win. Avancic in the corner, out in front. LaMagna putting it wide. And what do we tell you? These two teams so competitive in games against each other over the last couple seasons. Out in front it comes, and this time we will get a whistle for a net dislodging. Barberi gets some help from the USA Hockey crew to reset the cage. Face off in Central Catholic ice. Monco pursues this one, and he and his team will get the icing call. Lawadi off the face-off window. Angelo Maeda, his shot blocked. And Maeda takes down Phillip. Penalty coming up on the Indians. Monco touches. And will the third time be the charm for Central Catholic on the penny power play? We'll find out with 7:19 to go. The junior defenseman will feel shame for 2 minutes and then get free, tripping the call. Central Catholic back to work on special teams. Pregnant pause as Kovac had to come on for the face-off. Zach Manili gonna take it, but the Vikings control it. Brophy above the circle, cross ice, shot, score! Kane Phillip! Hit that horn, baby, let's dance! 5-3 Vikings. And just one shot was all it took to make Maeda take the walk of shame. Goal number 6 for the Central Catholic senior, second of the power play variety this season. And the Vikings restore the 2-goal advantage. Ketterer. And Masidi out here for Central Catholic. Ketterer calling for this puck as Watson plays it off the equipment of Anthony Herman. Barrett. Double teamed in the corner. It comes free to Strobel. Barrett looking for this puck. Turned it over to Masidi. Masidi down low to Strobel. To Ketterer, who has a goal in the first period of this game. In transition, Monco following this puck toward goal. It's loose in front. Barberi was bracing himself, but that puck never made it on goal. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in regulation. Schleiper missing to the left post. Strobel unable to clear. Dowden trying to play it quickly. Too many sticks and lanes for the Indians' own good. Masidi behind the D. Masidi held up by Maeda. Another penalty coming up. And it's been not one for the old sizzle reel this third period for Angelo Maeda. Holding the indication this time. Number 4 in red back to the box. Central Catholic back to the penny power play where they are 1 of 3. And now suddenly looking for a knockout blow following Kane Phillips' power play goal. Daly forward off the faceoff. Herman quickly covering. To the boards it'll come. Brophy, cross ice. Phillip again. Phillip on the doorstep. Unable to turn it around was Ventura. Good keep by McGurk. Daly in front, intercepted by Kubastek, who gets it to center. Daly behind the net for Ventura. Kubastek there defensively for Peters Township on this penalty kill. Daly to the boards for Phillip. Forced back to center by Kubastek. Lawadi coming on now for the Peters PK. Daly through the right circle. Blockered away by Herman. Vikings have the rebound. McGurk to Ventura. Ventura to Phillip. Back to Dom Ventura. Taken now by Lawadi. Midway through the penny power play. Here comes Lawadi shorthanded. Lawadi looking for a passing lane. None to be found, but it'll take time off the penalty clock at least. With time ticking under 4:20 to go in this third period. Daly directing traffic from behind his own net. Under half a minute left in the power play. Vikings complete the change. Daly still relaying instructions as Travado skates it up ahead. Travado over the line. Chased by Monco. Monco lost his stick trying to make a play there defensively. Now sends Travado into the boards. Albanese has to play it from center red, and that'll do it. This time, Maeda is spared. Indians back to full strength. Vikings trying to milk that clock a bit as they rag that puck behind goaltender Barberi. Travado out to Strobel. Strobel, cross ice for Albanese. Herman was getting ready to come off, it looked like for a moment there for the extra skater, but scrambles back into goal. Indians down by a deuce with 3 minutes left in period 3. Travado for Strobel. Taken away by Manili. And now Herman will come off as Manili shoots wide. Zach Manili is the extra man for the moment. Monco's slapper is blocked. Manili toward goal. That was blocked as well. Lappy unable to shoot it cleanly on the empty net. Peters Township skating 6-on-5, down by 2 as it's fired in. Dante Albanese makes it a 6-3 game, and you can pay the man, Shirley. His first goal of the 25-26 regular season is an empty netter. Someone's got to score him. Herman back in there. Indians now down by 3. Dante Albanese, who wore the alternate captain's A for a period in Judah Brophy's absence, with a 175-footer to most likely ice this thing for Central Catholic. Blocker save there by Anthony Herman. Zach Manili over the line. Nath going to the net. Best unable to get that puck deep. Halliburka up to center for Watson. Watson dropping, and a shot pass for Watson eludes Watson's stick. Halliburka behind the Indians' goal. Knocked off that puck by Kubastek. Indians still unable to exit the zone. A delayed offside called now against Central Catholic. And so Rose will play it to his own bench. Central Catholic will go to 4-1-1-1 on the year. 4 wins in regulation, 1 regulation loss. 1 overtime win, 1 overtime loss. For Peters Township, just their second regulation loss of the season, 4-2-0-1. And these two teams continue to seesaw back and forth in the PIHL 3A standings. 40 ticks to talk. Vikings control this face-off with half a minute left in this game. Travado for Donahue. Donahue down low for Stepanek, who almost converted that one. So Herman at least gets to pad his individual stats a bit more coming in tonight in relief of Jordan Cox. But not quite able to stop the bleeding on this Thursday night. Central Catholic holding off the comeback attempt as we get late penalties as the buzzer sounds. And some horseplay after the whistle between Cam Reyes and one of the Vikings. Vikings separated by one of the officials, and Jeff Stepanek separated by teammate Ray Travado. Mason Barberi getting hockey hugs. A 24-save victory for the sophomore, who remains unbeaten in regulation as the #1 goalie for Anthony Rayco. Final score, Pittsburgh Central Catholic 6, Peters Township 3. Vikings 15 points. Indians remain on 13 points. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Kennedy Kazarowski. Thank you, Todd Kazarowski back at World Headquarters. And thank you, for watching and listening. I am off next week, but I hope you'll join Matt Vandriak as he fills in for me on PIHL Hockey Night Live next Thursday night at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon. North Allegheny, visiting Thomas Jefferson at 7 p.m. And then the granddaddy of Class 3A rivalries, Mount Lebanon and Upper St. Clair at 9 in the nightcap next Thursday on TenbandTV. I shall return Monday, November 24th, when TenbandTV returns to the island to see Carrick visit Sewickley Academy in Division II action, followed by a big game in Class A between Quaker Valley and the Moon Tigers, 7:15 and 9:15 on Monday the 24th on TenbandTV. I'm Matt Popchock, and that's all she wrote from the Alpha Ice Complex in Harmarville. Again, the Vikings take this one from the Indians 6-3. You've been watching PIHL Hockey Night Live on TenbandTV, presented by Steel City Spine.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Sick and shipped ahead by Daly. Aaron Daly over the attacking line, right side, shooting off Cox. A save made, and the rebound is fanned on by Jeff Stepanek. That'll miss. Halliburka to the rebound. Looking for company. Nice pass to McGurk. McGurk shooting off the far post. Just a little excuse me there for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. He's sandwiched against the glass immediately out in front. Oh, what a play there. Follow-up shot, score! Numbers for the Vikings. Strobel to Ketterer. That shot stopped by Cox. It's loose. It's bouncing on the goal line and somehow kept out. Played aside by Jordan Cox. Monco playing it blindly, but right to Ketterer, Ketterer! Burial! 2-0. And Peters Township in the unenviable position of having to chase the game as the road foe, as the Vikings have netted another. Made by Barberi, Lawadi through a couple of skates. Oh, that almost went 5-hole through Barberi. Ketterer cross ice to LeWinter. Ketterer 1 against 3. Glove save by Herman. Phillip slowed a bit at center, but persisting inside the right circle. Phillip to the goal. He's had all the moves. Manili out in front. It rebounds to Rose. Cross ice it'll come. Snapshot. Barberi the save, and he's got the rebound as Masidi. Daly goes down. Play continues. In front, Lawadi. Turning around, shooting and scoring! Jake Lawadi off Brophy's leg. It comes to Manili. Manili to the point for Kubastek. Kubastek on goal. Barberi. And the Indians play it off the boards, but not out. Lavelle deflects on goal. Herman the save. Paging Mr. Herman. Barrett unable to advance that puck. Daly on the counterattack. Vikings changing behind the play. Centering pass. Backhand try. That just went wide. Phillip with a nice maneuver there. Phillip toward goal. Shooting on Herman. And Herman stops him point blank. Two-line pass for Lawadi. Lawadi has Caputo again going to the net. Caputo unable to find it. It's loose. Is it jammed in? Yes, it is! Indians taking away the passing lanes again. Closing seconds of the power play. Ventura on goal save, made the rebound. Herman sitting upright to keep. Out in front, Brophy. Brophy shooting, scoring! Peters Township with a face-off win. It's sailed back to center. Caputo running over Travado. Kovac going to the net. He has this puck, and he puts it just wide of Barberi. Best off the glass. McGurk turned it over to Manili. Manili fires. Scores! Lawadi off the face-off window. Angelo Maeda, his shot blocked. And Maeda takes down Phillip. Penalty coming. Gonna take it, but the Vikings control it. Brophy above the circle. Cross ice. Shot. Score! Trying to play it quickly. Too many sticks and lanes for the Indians' own good. Masidi behind the D. Masidi held up by Maeda. Another penalty coming up. Net. Peters Township skating 6-on-5, down by 2 as it's fired in. Dante Albanese makes it a 6-3 game. With half a minute left in this game, Travado for Donahue. Donahue down low for Stepanek, who almost converted that, but not quite able to stop the bleeding on this Thursday night. Central Catholic holding off the comeback attempt as we get late penalties in regulation as the number 1 goalie for Anthony Rako. Final score, Pittsburgh Central Catholic 6, Peters Township 3.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.